Good morning. Hey, Evan, how you doing today, buddy? I caught you without your microphone.
I am
that is
good.
Awesome.
I'm getting all the technical stuff ready for your first call. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm great. Listen,
Excellent.
I'm so excited. I think I maybe slept about 4 hours last night thinking about this show and all that. We got so much to talk about. Let's start off, though. We do have a caller because I put out there, I wanted to hear a story about, regarding COVID, the experience on it. Are you on the line? Is it David that's on the line?
Yes, I am. Good morning, Mr. Attach. Is it okay for me to call you Mr. Attach?
Oh, no.
Or Denny?
Please call me Denny. I only answer to Mr. Artachi in a courtroom, when they say, Mr. Artachi,
morning,
did you do
Denny.
it? And I said, no, I didn't. I wasn't even there. And you're in Connecticut right now, right?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So what is it like? I don't know, 25 degrees in Connecticut? How cold is it?
Actually, it's 30 degrees right now, so we're in summertime right now.
Oh, my God. Evan, how do these people live like that? I mean,
you got to get used to it. I mean, it's like, that weather that either you go with it or you just, stay your ass home. Because one of the things about this area out here, you got, what do they call that? You got this Interstate Highway 66, and you got everything coming through there. And, you go to New Hampshire, you're going this way, you're going that way. And it seems like the whole entire cold is right here, right in the middle, right on top of us. So
I'm
you just got to get used to it.
We're both New Yorkers. So we just like to make fun because our family and friends are still dealing with that weather. And we cry when it's 60 degrees here. So, but listen, thank you for calling, and go ahead. Share the story, your personal story with COVID, and what do you want to share with the audience?
Okay. Okay, here we go. I had all the symptoms for COVID.
Okay.
I sat on it for about 2 months. When I wound up getting sick because I was trying to, do it on my own, it really, really, crashed on me. When I wound up going to the hospital, I had 102 fever.
Wow.
I passed out. Yeah, this was actually a couple of weeks ago. I passed out, and they brought me back. They said, man, listen, you had a really bad case of COVID. I said, well, I had all the symptoms. The doctor said to me, then that's when I should have got tested. Then I said to him, if I would have wound up getting tested, you guys would have wound up send me home because I wouldn't be as severe as I got in that night. In which, he couldn't answer. So my thing is, after being it or after going through the dilemma and the pains and the chills and the sweats and the fever of it, you still have it, you still have the COVIDs. You still have it. I mean, does it reoccur? I'm like not too clear with this here because I'm still having the same symptoms. However, I don't have the fever as I did.
So you said 2 months. I mean, were you positive 2 months ago, or?
I did not know that because I would not go and get tested.
But you said you were sick for 2 months?
I had the symptoms for 2 months. What? It blew up on me about 2 weeks ago.
Listen, that's the problem with so many typical males. I mean, we go to a doctor when our leg falls off or something.
Right.
So you went to so you went there, they tested you, you're positive. What kind of treatment did you get for it?
All right, they gave me a bunch of antibiotics. They were shooting me through my arm intravenously. Mm-hmm. They gave me a lot of saline, actually. They gave me a lot of juices. They gave me some pills. They gave me ibuprofen, painkillers, all sorts of things. Because it was affecting not only my chest, felt constricted, but it was also affecting my lower back and my spine. So I was at a point that I was immobilized. I really couldn't move at one point, and my whole body felt constricted. So they thought that I was going to die.
Wow.
And they said to me that we're going to hospitalize you. You have to stay here for a couple of days. A couple of days turned into 3 days. On my third day, I started feeling a lot better.
Okay.
I was eating properly. I wasn't, coughing up the food or going to the bathroom because it was running through me. And the doctor came to me and said, well, you did real good. Now you only have the antibodies, for COVID.
And let me ask, how old are you?
I'm 55 years old, thank
55.
God.
Okay. So, I mean, are you in the high risk category? Because
I am. I have underlying issues.
Okay.
I have, I was a former smoker. I had COPD, that sort of like went away, asthma. and I had a heart condition.
Wow.
Asthma sits in my family, by the way.
Hey, listen, I bet you were scared, huh? I mean, come on.
Yes, I was.
You
Yes, I
gotta
was.
be thinking like,
It's a scary thing. It's a very scary thing, and I dropped down to my knees, and I thank God that He showed me the light and where I'm at, in which right now I'm looking at what I have to do with this. I'm again in the house. I'm quarantined again because
sure.
I tested positive. I have to do it for another 14 days. But as I'm sitting here, I came across your ad. I said to myself, "Wow, look at this. Maybe this might be an interesting thing to talk about because actually this is my first time talking about it.
I appreciate it.
I was too ashamed to share it with people."
Yeah, I mean, look, we need positive news on this. Thank God you're okay. You got help. You're quarantining, which this is great because there are too many people that are not quarantining, and that's a whole subject I don't want to start. So listen, I'm glad you're feeling good. Thank you for sharing because this is scary for everybody, and you're
Absolutely.
a survivor. Call in next week. Let us know how you're feeling, and hey, try not to watch too much news. Okay.
You know what? You're absolutely right about that. That's another thing that that got me going crazy. I lost my job due to the pandemic.
Oh wow!
I've been out of work now, going on 10 months. I'm collecting unemployment. That's about to run out again. Going through the cycle all over again. Although, the government is here and hopefully this new administration come and do a better job than the last administration. Let's see what happens, and I'm pretty confident that it will. But I will call you guys next week and let you guys know where I'm at. And I really thank you and congratulations on your show.
Thank you for calling in.
Supported. Yes, sir.
And listen, we want to hear more successful stories. I will pray for you. Be well. Call us next week, and thanks again for calling. Okay.
Thank you so much, Denny. Bye bye.
Right. Be well. Do we have Paul on the line? Paul, are you there?
I am.
Oh, awesome. Hey, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How you doing?
Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, this guy I have on the phone, he's another rock star in his own right. He knows who I played with back then, but Paul ran, what was it, the largest technology fund for was it Merrill Lynch, Paul, that you did for like 20 years?
Yeah, not so long as that, but it was Merrill Lynch Investment Managers, which today is BlackRock.
I got you. And you can see Paul on CNBC often. You're a rock star because they ask you your opinion about where the market's going and they ask you what your favorite picks are. And I'm blessed that I have you as a partner with Independent Solutions because folks, someone like you, it's hard to get on the phone and you have access to our clientele. And I've listened to some of your recent takes on the market. I want to share, of course, they're going to say, hey, what's the market going to do? So no one has a crystal ball, but tell me, Paul, what do you see coming in the next 6 to 12 months in the market?
Yeah, I'm actually quite bullish. And the reason I'm so bullish is it's hard for stocks not to do well when interest rates are this low. And so COVID is a good and a bad.
Okay.
Obviously, we know the bad. The good of COVID is to fight the business shutdowns caused by COVID last spring, March and April. Our central bank, the Federal Reserve Board, took the Fed funds rate, which is essentially the baseline interest rate in the States, essentially to zero. And I expect the Fed funds rate to be at zero for actually several years. And in that case, stocks do better than bonds, and growth stocks typically do better than value stocks. We saw a similar setup when we had this environment coming out of the financial crisis in 2009. And it actually led to a bull market that essentially lasted until we had COVID strike last spring. So it's a nice underpinning. I think people think too much about who's president of the United States and the politics.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, I think the president of the United States, as far as it goes for U.S. finance, is probably not in the most 10 important people.
It's perception, isn't it? It's kind of like, I guess fundamentally, and again, I'm a lackey compared to you, but fundamentally, I'm sure we're overvalued in many areas. But it's like you said, they have to invest their money somewhere, right? I mean, they're not going to buy bonds because the possibility of rates going higher. I mean, what do you think about bond plays for the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, the problem with bond is I guess they're okay if they're just a surrogate for cash just to play defense.
Okay.
But bonds are yielding so little, very close to zip, that they're not even going to out-return inflation, which only runs at about 2% per year. And so I have a 91-year-old dad, and of course, he needs to be liquid.
Sure.
But it is very difficult for me, even for a conservative investor, to put people into bonds. What I try to do instead is stay in stocks, because I think you almost have to.
Mm-hmm.
But you invest in not my typical tech stocks, but high dividend stocks. So you at least get some income better than a bond with a chance of some price appreciation.
Yeah, because I think, look, it's not a question of if we're going to have some kind of correction. It's just a question of when. But I think because you are bullish, you still feel that we should get between 5 to 10% in equities, right? I mean, isn't that where you kind of sitting?
Yeah. The only question in my mind is last year was so great despite COVID. The S&P total return basis was up 18%. Usually the market does 10% per year. So I worry about a little bit of taking from Peter to pay Paul.
Sure.
Maybe some of the returns were actually, pushed into 2020 instead of 2021. But, the economy is supposed to grow about 4% this year, coming out of the COVID hole, which is about 2x the rate that it was growing before COVID. Interest rates pinned to the floor. I'm not saying that I'm a conservative or a Democrat, but I'm saying that there will be less chaos. And if there's less chaos, less uncertainty, and the market hates uncertainty. And so I think we have a pretty good setup. I'd be surprised if the stocks, benchmarked by the S&P 500 didn't do at least the average, what they've done in the past, which is about 10% per annum.
Yeah, and we also had a really good third quarter, did we not? I think I saw that we had a big growth, but that was probably because second quarter was so terrible. But it makes sense to me that where are they going to invest in, and if we do have a correction, do you think it'll be because people think last year that that correction didn't last long, and that's not normal what happened, right? From March.
Yeah, I think if we have a correction, and I don't think if we have one, it's going to be very deep or long lasting. So I would buy the dip.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that I see that could cause a correction, two factors. One is we have a resurgence of COVID cases and deaths,
mm-hmm.
which I put low probability because at least now versus a year ago, we have vaccines.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably pick up the pace with inoculating folks. So that's one factor. I don't think it's that big of a risk. The other one is, and it sounds a little bit perverse coming from where we've been the last year or so, is if the economy heats too fast and it triggers a bump up in inflation, then the Federal Reserve Board, our central bank, has to go from lowering interest rates to defend the economy to raising interest rates to fight inflation. And when inflation starts to rise and interest rates start to rise, that is actually bad for the valuation of stocks. And so that's a risk, but I don't see it really as a risk, at least in the near term.
That's awesome. I think Independent Solutions has so much value to offer investors. And of course, I can't have you on the show without you touting your favorite picks going for the next 6 to 12 months. What do you really like that you think, looks, I think you're still bullish on Micron. That was one of your picks, right?
Yeah. So I'm best known as a tech investor. Obviously, I always have a plan B in case tech's not working out. But I'm best known as a tech investor. And I actually think that even though the stock, since I started promoting it about a year ago, has gone from 40 to almost 90, so you would say that one is, in the rearview mirror. I actually think that Micron, ticker symbol MU, is still, from this price level,
right, probably
my favorite tech idea.
What do you think about, the main ones? Apple, Amazon. I think Netflix showed an incredible surge last year, and then I think you also had a comment on we still don't know the that online meeting service if you're bullish or on that stock. Zoom, yes.
Yeah. So among the majors, right? They call them the FANGs.
The FANGs, right?
I probably like, out of that cast of characters, Google and Amazon the best.
Okay.
Apple's a great company, but I think too much is already baked into its stock price. And Facebook, unfortunately, is under regulatory assault right now.
Yeah.
And Netflix, they actually reported their most recent quarter just in the last 48 hours, and they crushed the estimates for net subscribers. So they're doing real well. But I think Netflix as a whole, but at its current price level, it's probably not a buy. And then you mentioned Zoom. I worry a little bit about Zoom. It's a good company, but obviously it was built solely on people doing online meetings during COVID.
Right.
And so it remains to be seen after we lick COVID, where those meetings go. How many subscribers do they retain? And so given its stock price and given those ifs, if I held the stock, I'd probably just continue to hold it, but I wouldn't buy it fresh.
Wouldn't you say that's the key to a lot of investing? Because people just want a quick fix. And, you buy companies with a long-term horizon, do you not? I mean, how often do you say, well, I loved this 6 months ago, but now I hate it. I'm going to move all my positions out of it.
I don't do that very often, but I would tell you that if you're a tech investor, because, tech products go in and out of favor so quickly,
sure,
you do have to be prepared to let some stuff go quicker than you originally thought. But typically, I invest and I set a price target to achieve 2 years out.
Got it. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Paul Meeks. When are you going to be on CNBC again? I love when they call you in.
I'm usually on every week.
I know.
So it kind of varies by program, but I think I'm next scheduled to be on Squawk Box to do a little debate with anchor Joe Kernan on January 26th.
Man, he seems like he loves to try and, rattle you. I don't know what it is about that guy.
That's his shtick.
That is his shtick, isn't it?
Feisty. And I actually know him very well because in my Merrill days, I used to film at the studio in New York. So I'd be right next to him.
So that's what it is, right?
Now I actually film remotely.
Okay. Well, he better lay off of you, dude, or I might have to drive to New York to straighten him out. Okay. I mean,
well, I've seen you. I think you could probably kick his. You know what,
Paul? I so appreciate, and I'm so blessed that I have you as a partner. And Independent Solutions, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Paul Meeks. Paul, I'd love to have you as often as your schedule will allow you to. Thank you so much for calling in. Any parting shots? Anything on your mind that you want to say?
No, I think the key point to remember, particularly during all this turbulence around the shift from Trump to Biden, is, as far as the market goes, not as big a deal as you think.
Exactly.
With interest rates low, I don't want to say ignore the nonsense on television about politics, but
right.
I think it's greatly overemphasized.
Yeah, remember, the world's been coming to an end for the last 2,000 years. I'm still waiting. And it hasn't happened. I don't want it to happen. But very, very well said, sir. Thank you so much. Stay warm, and I'll talk to you soon, Paul. Paul Meeks, ladies and gentlemen. Bye. All right. We don't have anyone waiting on there, do we? Okay. So we're going to take a little break here and come right back. Back, I really enjoy always talking to Paul Meeks, and he's so right. People put too much on the president and things in the market when it's really a small portion of what actually happens in the market. So I think my next guest on the line is Mike Sparazza, my partner with the Financial Guys Home and Auto. Are you on the phone, Mike?
I am here.
Okay. So Mike is calm right now, but I'm going to say around sundown tomorrow is when he's going to start getting white knuckled because he's going to be worried about the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. Right, Mike? I mean, have you loaded up on your antacids?
The stress already started, to be honest. I drive to work every day and I listen to the sports talk radio, and I mean, like I said last week, it's pretty surreal. I'm used to disaster around here with sports teams, and for the first time, we're almost there.
Listen, I was 4 for 4 last weekend, and I'm not going to let it go to my head. I just got lucky. I used a common sense approach. So this is going to be a tough one. Which Patrick Mahomes is going to show up? That's the key. But here's what I'm going to go for the upset. And I think Josh Allen is going to step out, continue his MVP year. And I think the Bills are going to take it. So there you go. I'm going to go on the record. And believe me, this is tough because I think Kansas City and Andy Reid is about as good as it gets. But in sports, when a team is playing together like the Bills are, anything is possible. So yeah, I'm going to check on you on Sunday. Make sure you're not, near a bridge or anything like that.
No, I'll have a beer or two. I think I'll be okay. I'll calm my nerves.
Awesome. So listen, Mike, tell us a couple of stories and success stories that you've had with your business. And obviously you do home auto as well as homeowners insurance. You want to share?
Yeah. So I'm going to give a New York example first because I think this just shows the power of shopping around. But I had a client, I actually just finished everything up with them this morning. It was a family of 4. So 2 parents, 2 children. They had a home and an umbrella policy as well. They were paying close to $7,500 a year for all 3 policies. And we got that down to about $2,500 down to about $5,000 a year. So what? That was all by just shopping around, gathering the info, and trying to search out the best deal for them. And we actually increased coverage too, which was great. So not only did we save them almost $2,500, we also gave them better coverage too.
Well, I would say, who doesn't want to save money? It's like we talked about last week. Sometimes a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. And I don't know why. I think most consumers want to get a better deal, but they don't want to pick up the phone or do whatever it is if they have to. So,
yep.
Say the number again that they can call for the free quotes for auto and homeowners. What is the number?
Yes, it's going to be, and I'll tease a number. We have a new number coming out next week just for our department. But for this right now, it's 1-833 Fin Guys. 1-833 Fin Guys, or you can visit on our website at TFG, like the Financial Guys, homeandauto.com. So www.tfghomeandauto.com or 833-346-4897.
So we talked about it. Not everyone can bundle because a lot of the majors in Florida, they offer that to their clients. Hey, if you bundle with us, we'll save you money. But that may not always be the case because they may not, at least on the homeowner side, be totally independent. Is that not true? Or
yeah, I think we see the commercials on TV a lot. We think automatically you have to bundle everything, and it really is. I was just telling Mike Haflick in our office this morning. A lot of what we all do is not a one size fits all, right? It's not you should all do this because this is what our neighbor does or this is what my mother or father does. It really matters per situation. And sometimes bundling is the answer. Other times it's not. I mean, I work with people all the time that we put their auto with one company and their home with another because that's a better deal than if we put their auto and home together. So it is really, and that's one thing I could say, as much as I love talking to family and friends about stuff, never just assume that your situation is the same as theirs. And Denny, that with what you do every day. Right. It's never the same, right? It's never, ever the same.
Yeah. And the other issue I have with this, when these companies bundle, the problem I have is on the life insurance side, they're just selling their own life insurance. And trust me, believe me when I tell you, that doesn't mean you're getting the best life insurance rate. I mean, it just doesn't mean. Same thing on the investment sides, because they're limited. You may have a choice of maybe 3 or 4 annuity carriers. So you got to think about and look at the overall picture to make it work. We do have an office in Jupiter, but definitely call online 1-833-FIN-GUYS. And Mike will be happy to do a quote and see if he can help you. I mean, we're partners. Everyone knows I'm a full financial planner, and I like to have partners like you. We're going to have a tax partner of mine later on the show to talk about that as well. And any parting shots, for the game this Sunday?
No, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be cocky. I'm just going to let it ride. That's all.
What a guy! You know that? Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what. I hope it works out. I think it would be great for football if they do win. I mean, seriously, I have nothing to. I have so much respect for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Unbelievable. But I think it would be awesome to see an upset like that. So let's see. We'll talk next week. And if it turns out the way I think it will, I know you're going to be one happy cat.
And I'll be stressing for the following Sunday next week.
Yes, you will. All right. Well, yes. Okay. So listen, thanks a lot, Mike. Mike Sparaza, Financial Guys, Home and Auto. Stay warm, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Will do. Thanks, Denny.
All right. Yeah, he's still dealing with that polar bear weather up there, which forget that, Jack. What do you think? You think you can go back there for all the money?
No,
right?
No, you can't pay me enough to go back to New York. No.
Right. Well,
No.
It's not just the weather too, the taxes and all the craziness that's going on up there. So do we, there's no one on hold, right? We're going to have Tony pretty soon, but hey, so much to talk about, but hey, let's talk about yesterday. We have a new president.
Yeah. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah. I thought the messages were great. And I'm hoping that more Americans, I know a lot of them are upset because my God, what I've seen on Facebook in the last day or two, I couldn't tell you the expletives that I never knew existed were posted on Facebook. And look, we both agree. You and I have talked, and we have such similar. We don't like to get too political.
Right.
I'm unapologetically a conservative. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But look, Joe Biden won. There's a new beginning. Let's all try and work together. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, we try. He fails. We vote somebody else in.
That's it.
But to stay angry. And I don't know. I don't think that suits anybody any good unless you're a UFC fighter. Then that might come in handy. I mean, it worked for Mike Tyson for many years.
It did.
I mean, he made a lot of money. But look, America, God bless us. There were a lot of positive messages. That part I like. There wasn't any bashing really going on. Good singing performances. I thought that was really interesting. Lady Gaga did well.
She nailed it. She nailed it.
That dress was something that she was wearing. It was like, it was definitely like a Disney film,
Yeah, but she nailed it singing the national anthem.
Yes, she
did.
did.
I actually stood up and took my hat off for that one.
So I thought, Joe's pretty old, man. He's the oldest guy we have, and I thought he composed himself well.
Yeah.
And, for the life of me, why anybody would want that job, it's a thankless position, You get so much pressure. So I hope he does well. I hope we as a country can work together and work out the differences. And look, that's how we should be. And if it doesn't work out, then we vote somebody else in.
Agree. Totally agree.
On another note, people know I'm a financial planner. I manage money, but I'm also an entertainer. So tonight I'm going to be playing at Taco Tiki in Jensen Beach. You ever go to that place?
No, I never have. I heard it's pretty good.
Really good tacos. It's an outdoor gig, and I say gig. Listen to me, the old rock guy. It's a good restaurant. Families go there. I'll be playing from 6 to 9. We'll be doing some rock and some blues, and I really like playing in the area. I'm going to be at Mulligan's on the 28th.
Now, which one? Jensen or downtown Stewart?
The one in Stewart, yes.
Downtown Stewart by the
house.
water. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
And I always am appreciative of George, one of my sponsors. George has 6 locations. They do a great job. And him and Ron Hart are still trying to keep the music alive in Stewart with the Rock Riverwalk and Mulligan's now. I'll be there on the 28th, and he has different bands. And, it's just a good atmosphere for music. And I appreciate him as a sponsor. I appreciate also Mike Speraza, the financial guys, also partners in the PNC. I want to try and get Mr. Sam on the phone. Tony, have we gotten him yet?
No, I was waiting.
Let's try and get Tony on there because
okay.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Tony, he's a partner where he runs TMI Tax Consulting Services, and I've known Tony for 20 years, and he's a character in his own right. But yeah, I really enjoyed yesterday watching the positive notes and messages, and hopefully we can all move on. And is he on the? Oh, okay. So let's see this weekend. I'm rooting for the Bills. It's going to be a tough game. And on the NFC side, my God, is this the year that Brady goes to the Super Bowl again? Well, it's going to be tough because Aaron Rodgers and that team is definitely running on all cylinders. So this is going to be a great weekend of football. I can't wait to see it. You know what I'm going to be doing on Sunday. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the GOAT is going to upset Rodgers, even though technically Rodgers should win the game. So I'd love to see Tom Brady and the Bills in the Super Bowl. So that's my prediction. So maybe I'll go from 4-0 last week to 0-2. Who knows? I don't gamble for a living, and my clients know that when I invest their money. So we're waiting to see if Mr. Sam is on there. He could be doing all kinds of things. Do we have him? Tony, are you there?
Hello, Denny.
Hey, Tony Sama, ladies and gentlemen. A great friend of mine and a partner and a sponsor of the show with TMI Tax Consultants. How you doing today, Tony?
TMI and Associates.
What did I call you?
Everything other than that.
Oh, see, didn't I tell you he's a character? He's already starting on me. Now, here's the thing about Tony. He is an amazing golfer. He was a state champion. What was it, 100 years ago that you went to high school and won that?
Yeah, it was in 1971. I was a 15-year-old kid playing in the Junior State Amateur Championship, and then in high school we won all the state stuff, and I went to actually Lake Worth High School. And,
that's right.
And then I went up to New Jersey and New York, after I finished some of my schooling, and I really got an education up there. Teamed up with a mentor on Park Avenue, and he had an office there, and we did a lot of work with a lot of big clients, and that's where I learned the tax. He didn't know anything about business because usually CPAs are, they understand their business. They see other businesses from the outside. And in 1989, we formed the TMI companies, and we started out where we were managing and assisting, basically telecommunications companies. Okay. And in 2001, we decided to help a lot of businesses, just average, normal people, because we did so well with it that we help them in a lot of ways, and it grew, and we love the Treasure Coast here. So
this is an amazing area. I mean, it really is. Yeah. So much wealth, so much beauty. What attracted us as friends, because we know each other about 21 years. We're both positive thinkers. We do workshops together. We try and help people financially, spiritually, mentally, from a common sense perspective. And I know that a lot of your focus are not just individuals, but businesses in what you do. Isn't that true?
Oh, yeah. We have a program where we do this as a entry level for free. I'll step into any business owner's business, spend about an hour. We have a software program that will literally figure out how we can increase your gross numbers by $100,000 without a dollar of advertising being spent. There's a lot of areas in businesses that people miss. There's a lot in budgeting. There's a lot in tax, savings, deferrals, pension plans, asset protection. Actually, we have two attorneys that we're in the same office together. I've known this one attorney for many years, and we have a tax attorney when we, need to, do the asset protection side of whatever the owner is doing. So we handle some big, businesses and individual accounts. So,
and business owners now more than ever really need help. The
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot doing good, Denny, but there's a lot doing bad too.
Yes, there are, and hopefully that'll change. Now, I know on mutual clients that we have, a lot of self-employed people don't realize what they can do. I mean, they can. There's the IRA where you can put $5,000 a year, but then if you're self-employed, you can do like 51,000 on a SEP, and beyond that, we have some mutual clients that make a lot of money where they can do a defined benefit plan. Mm-hmm. And what are the limits to that? Isn't it something like 300,000 a year that they can put away?
Okay, first of all, it's actuarially computed on a defined benefit plan. There is a deferred. It's basically deferred compensation plan also.
Okay.
Or a combination of a 401k with a defined benefit. We call that a DBK. And actuarially, if you're younger, of course, it's defined at a later date. So you usually can put less in. But if you're age 50, 55 and up, and you can't, the IRA catch-up contributions and the SEP and the 401k, they're not going to get you there fast enough if you're making a lot of money. Second of all, you're going to pay a lot of taxes that can be working for you over the next 10 to 15 years in a qualified fund. And if you're at that age, normally with a defined benefit at that age, we could probably put anywhere from $210,000 to $225,000 per husband, per wife, as long as they work for the company, as long as they're salaried. The salary dictates, exactly how much they can put in.
So I overshot my estimation, yes, because that's your wheelhouse. I just know that we have a few clients that have taken advantage of your expertise and they've saved in taxes. They've paid themselves. Now, for my other listeners that said, well, that's great, but we're not rich, so how's he going to help us? You also review what they've done the last couple of years where you can find things that they can do better with. Is that also part of your practice as well?
Yeah. We'll go ahead and take an average person that, may just be earning a lot of money with a job. A lot of money. Okay, it's not a quantitative form of measurement, but let's say $50,000 a year or more.
Mm-hmm.
And the taxes are going up, as we all know, which is you can't keep taxes low long enough. Our country would go bankrupt. So it's believe me, I don't like paying taxes like everybody else.
Sure.
But if we can get it to the legal least minimum taxes, that's what we try to accomplish. Second of all, there are things we can do for W-2 wage earners in a job.
Okay.
One of the things is, a lot of people, they just don't get it. You can open a home-based business, start something that actually may even make money, but you have to want to derive a profit
as a W-2 employee.
Be a legitimate business. But with a home-based business, chances are you're spending $10,000, $15,000 a year that immediately becomes deductible on your home, on your car, on your rent, your utilities, percentages of, or partial amounts of those phone bills can be deductible. Internet, I could go on and on.
I know you can. Now, the other thing, the other focus, I'm going to have to get a 2-hour show if this keeps up. The other focus for investors is, yes, the current tax laws are in effect until 2025. So a lot of people should seriously consider converting their qualified assets, their IRAs, into Roth accounts, because we all believe taxes are going to be higher. And if you can bite the bullet, say, for 3 to 5 years and then not pay taxes in a 25 to 30-year retirement, that may make a lot of sense for a lot of people. But they have to go through the process. What phone number do you want them to call, Tony, to get a hold of your services or find out more information? Or
I'll give you both of them. Our office number is real simple. It's 772-924-0001.
Okay.
Chances are there's an answering machine because we're in and out constantly, especially in tax season. We're trying to bang out as much as we can. And then my personal direct line, which if you want to speak to me, is 772-971-5600. 5852. And I'd be happy to, talk to anybody that needs any kind of help with the Roth IRAs. The reason they're so good, to answer your comment there, is that the Roths work in a taxable form where the money you put in, first in, it's called first in and first in, first out. Meaning you're taking your money that you put into the Roth, even if you roll it and pay the taxes, and that money comes out non-taxable. Not till the end of it does the capital gain or increase taxable amount get taxed, and that could be at a later date while you're drawing your money out, first in, first out. So there's taxable advantages to the Roth IRA.
Great.
Not to say that everybody really should be doing this. It needs to be strategized. I know that we have that computer calculator that would absolutely, it's a beautiful little tool that would tell you everything exactly how it works.
They should at least consider it, because I'm certified in Social Security claiming, and a lot of people make the mistake of taking it sooner because they think, well, what if I die? And I go, well, if you die, whatever you do doesn't matter much anyway. Unless you have your legacy plan. But they should consider it. There's a lot to it. These are just tools and things that people should at least consider for their investments.
Right.
One last parting shot. We were supposed to play golf this week, and you have been derelict in your duties, my friend. So why don't you see if we can do that tomorrow or Saturday, and then I'll forgive you. Is that fair enough?
Okay. Fair enough. And one other thing, most of the pensions that we set up with a pension administrator.
Okay.
And they are self-directed, meaning that you have control of your investments. Okay, within your pension plan, you could invest them with Denny. You could invest them in real estate. You can invest them in mortgages or instruments that create income for the defined benefit.
Okay.
Or the account or the self-directed IRA. Everything is self-directed, which is to an advantage. So anyway.
All right. Well, there you have it. Tony Sama, golf extraordinaire, cigar aficionado. So I love you, man. I'll talk to you soon, and thanks for calling in, okay?
One more thing. Bring the cigars tomorrow.
No, you're the one who has you have the collection, my friend. So, all right, Tony, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Have a great day, you guys.
You too. Okay. Yeah, Tony's an interesting guy. He's a real positive thinker. And I only have a few minutes before the game is over. Where did this hour go? It went, we didn't get to talk about a lot of things, but on the coronavirus front, you know what today is, Evan? Today is the 1-year anniversary of our first case of the coronavirus. And wow.
Really?
Yeah. It was, I think it was in Seattle or somewhere. Wow, in 1 year, all the cases that we have. And, hopefully with the vaccines and everything that's going on and awareness and more people wearing masks, we can finally put this. But today's the 1-year anniversary. Unfortunately, we have over 400,000 deaths because of it. And I'm hoping that it gets better sooner than later. So please be careful out there. Wear the mask. This is not a political thing.
No,
Wash
it's
your
not.
hands. Stay socially distant. If you come see me play tonight, wave from a distance, enjoy the music. I can't wear a mask and sing. So on stage, I don't wear a mask. But, as I walk around, I will do that. We're going to play from 6 to 9. And I think for yourself and your family, everybody listening to the show, be grateful if you got to wake up on a warm side of dirt today. Be grateful if you have your family, you have your health, you have your sanity. Because better days are coming, but we have to decide. Remember, it's all a habit. You get to wake up every day and decide whether you're going to have a good day or a bad day. And it's just as easy to get caught up in anger, rhetoric, and other things as opposed to gratefulness, respect, unity. That was spoken a lot yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And his speech was remarkable because he talked about he wants to get everybody back unified. And that's something that needs to be done.
Yeah. And look, this is not the first time in history that we've been at odds with each other in our country. We've been through worse times. Notwithstanding the pandemic, of course. But we can get through this, America. He also summed up describing America in one word. Do you remember what he said? Possibilities. And I really like that. We have amazing possibilities as a country. Are we perfect? No, we're far from it. But no human is perfect. So be grateful. Let's try and tone down the rhetoric on Facebook. I mean, my God, you know the best part about Facebook? Blocking features.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, of course.
Because, there comes only so much that you can take. I mean, I'm telling you, what I saw yesterday was just amazing. And I'm hoping that, look, I know everyone's angry for their own reasons, and I get it. Of course, I did say that I'm unapologetically a Republican, but I'm hopeful that we can all band together and make things better. And if it doesn't work, then we vote somebody else in. I'm not going to spend my times looking at every conspiracy theory program that's out there. I'm not going to bash people. I personally like to be positive. This is not to say I don't get angry and I don't have my moments, because I would be a hypocrite to say that. But I try and maintain as even keel as I can, because it only affects my health, my well-being, and my family members, and of course my clients as well. So it's going to be a great weekend of football. We kind of touched on we're such huge Met fans, you and I.
Yes.
And we were both, as young kids, at the World Series in '69.
Yeah, sitting Shea Stadium right next to the dugout when that final pitch was thrown and the ball was hit to left field and they caught it and it was over and pandemonium happened.
When they were tearing up the fields. I
Yeah.
know we were living in Brooklyn. I was 6 years old. It was just so amazing. Now, the Mets, what a history. I mean, I miss Shea Stadium. 73 was an we ran into the Oakland A's. I mean, they were just so stacked and we lost that. But I'll never forget, in '86, I was in the military serving overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it was maybe 3:00 in the morning or something. And I thought we were done. And of course, you know what happened with Mookie Wilson and that poor guy from, what was his name? Buckner from Boston.
Yeah, Bill. I think it was Bill Buckner, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, look, they had our number because they were like, well, gee, they won. I think that year we won like 108 games or something.
Right.
And of course they won and I went nuts. And but since then, what do you think? What do you think of the Mets? The future is going to be for us short term.
I got to be careful what I say because I'm an employee.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, I have to be very, very careful what I say. Let's just say I like the new owner and he's doing good things and we could contend. That's all. That's really all.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm a Mets fan forever. I also remember that years ago I used to play Mr. Laughs, and of course they did spring training here. Yeah.
I DJ'd at Mr. Laughs.
That's where you look familiar.
Down in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, no, I was at the one in Jensen Beach.
Oh.
So the Mets used to come there, and I wound up giving guitar lessons to Sid Fernandez.
Okay.
And he was a great guy. Man, we had a heck of a pitching rotation back then.
Mm-hmm.
And Sid, I moved to Los Angeles and I met him again, and he gave me front row seats to the Dodger game, and we could talk on a long time of the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably people listening going, I don't care about the Mets. Who cares? But it's nice to know that I work with a fellow Mets fan. And ladies and gentlemen, my producer makes me look and sound good, so I appreciate him. He's making it easy. Only my second show here, and hopefully we'll continue this trend.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, on my show that I do in the mornings, I have had on Ron Swoboda.
Nice.
Doc Gooden.
Really?
Yeah, some of the old timers. They've actually been guests. I know them personally and developed relationships.
Get them on this show.
Okay, I'll see what I could do.
Okay.
No promises.
No promises.
No promises.
Any parting shots, Mr. Producer?
No, none at all.
None?
No parting shots at all. No
Not about the Mets. Okay.
No parting shots at all. I keep it straight right down the middle.
All right. Well,
that's the way I like to do things.
Do you play golf also?
No, I don't. I do not play golf at all whatsoever.
All right. Well,
not at all.
Listen, thanks again for listening. We'll hopefully hear me next week, Thursday mornings today with Denny. Make it a great day. Be safe out there and make it the best life that you can. Thank you very much for listening.